Good evening. You're watching the news on Croatian television. The government sent lawmakers the final draft of a bill for Croatian veterans that should come into effect on January 1st, 2019. A second bill regulating local and regional government was also forwarded to Parliament. The latter has been dubbed Lex Sheriff by some critics, who say it will give local officials too much power. The financial minister said that the new divisions of funds was much more balanced.
The division is much simpler, more transparent, and according to our simulations, much more even. I repeat, 60% of the amount goes directly to cities and municipalities. 17% goes to counties. 6% will remain in the fund for decentralization, while the remaining 17% will go to the so-called equalization fund. We are hereby strengthening representative bodies as well as providing citizens with increased influence on their local leadership, including municipal executives, mayors, and county prefects. We have also included a measure that would allow assemblies to recall a mayor or other executive official by a two-thirds majority vote.
Some MPs failed to see eye to eye with the government on the proposed changes.
These measures are purely cosmetic. This is only about putting on a show of goodwill. We had a decent solution that only needed some points to be improved upon. There's absolutely no need to separate MPs into working groups or various commissions in order for them to vote on such things.
I think this is the first and foremost about Zagreb. I think the passing of this kind of law is to prevent an assembly majority from blocking decisions or blackmailing the executive authorities. As a mayor myself, I agree to some extent with a few of the measures, but with the vast majority I do not.
Prime Minister Andrej Plenković is in Brussels ahead of tomorrow's meeting with Eastern Partnership countries, the aim of which is to strengthen economic and political ties between the European Union and their eastern neighbors. The Prime Minister took a moment to comment on the draft proposals and their impact on the economy.
As far as the budget projections for the Veterans Ministry is concerned, it's all going according to plan and the appropriate funds have been allocated. I see no problems whatsoever and the concerns are unfounded. As for Agrokor, we are working to continue the restructuring process. Everything we have done has been in line with protecting the economy and financial system, and at absolutely no cost to the government and its citizens.
Meanwhile, Parliament Speaker Gordan Jandroković and Nikola Grmoje from the Most Party had a heated exchange in Parliament that stemmed from yesterday's move by the ruling HDZ to unilaterally shut down the commission tasked with investigating Agrokor.
This is unbelievable. You just made a whole range of accusations that we all patiently listen to without comment. Then as soon as the other side tries to defend itself, you pick up and leave. That's so typical. I won't stand by while you insult me in that way. You have no right to comment on when I enter or leave Parliament. I had a previously arranged interview. This is the last time you speak to me in this way.
The HDZ reacted to the war of words by calling a news conference, saying they wish to protect the dignity of the Croatian Parliament.
He made a very clear threat. Mr. Grmoja must change the way he acts towards his fellow MPs and the parliamentary speaker as well. This recent behavior is unacceptable, and we all saw how yesterday's actions nearly boiled over. At the very least, I call upon Mr. Grmoja to apologize to his colleagues.
MP Nikola Grmoje had this to say.
I call upon the Prime Minister and President of the HDZ to apologize for Ivo Sanader, Fimi Media, to apologize for the Planinska affair, for handing over INA to MOL, and for Hypo Bank. We still don't have a single clear verdict in any of these cases. I also call upon Branko Bačić, who wants an apology for me, for him to apologize for being involved in the Fimi Media affair.
Parliament's National Security Committee met to address an intelligence report warning of a potential security risk related to the fragile state of the Agrokor consortium. Committee Chair Ranko Ostojić said that Croatia needs to be proactive in the face of any possible threat.
The point was to get those of us who participated in the meeting to take the appropriate actions to prevent any possible consequences. It's not always necessary for something to have occurred. It's important to take preventative actions before a potential crisis takes hold. Lex Agrokor is inadequate in this regard, so we must take other steps. The reason we gathered here today was for an exchange of ideas.
Hospitals in Zagreb have introduced a neonatal screening program which will test newborns for 8 rare but treatable diseases. Until now, babies were only tested for a specific metabolic disorder and congenital hypothyroidism. The project, worth close to 700,000 euros, has been in the works for 18 months.
In this way, we have already treated close to 500 children in Croatia. We have discovered and therefore saved them from a range of mental and physical handicaps. This is a wonderful success, and we are all very pleased.
We have, for example, had 750 more samples in October this year than in the same month in 2016. Therefore, every child born in a Croatian hospital will now have access to the screening.
Taking a quick look at sports in Champions League handball, PPD Zagreb was beaten at home today by Barcelona 32-24. New head coach Zlatko Saracevic was outmatched tonight versus the greatest European club of all time. The Croatian champs are winless in their first 9 games in Champions League play and are currently at the bottom of the table. The forecast for tomorrow calls for relatively warm weather in continental regions. Northern areas can expect partly sunny skies with isolated showers, while the south looks to be cloudier. Morning fog will prevail in the interior and parts of the coast as well, limiting visibility to less than 1 kilometer. Winds out of the southeast will start off weak and gain strength towards the end of the day. Morning lows of between 2 and 7 inland and between 9 and 12 on the coast will give way to highs of 14 to 17 degrees Celsius. Saturday looks to be cloudier and still unseasonably warm due to the southeasterly wind. Rain is more likely in higher elevations, Istria and the Dalmatian hinterland, spreading to the rest of the country overnight. A sudden drop in temperature overnight into Sunday will bring snow to mountainous regions. Skies should partly clear on Sunday when a westerly wind moves in. Clear skies and cold temperatures are in store for the beginning of next week. The Adriatic coast will get a strong southeasterly wind on Saturday. Southern areas will be dry for the most part and partly sunny, while the north will be much cloudier. Rain and thunderstorms are expected overnight into Sunday. Changeable weather will prevail on Sunday as a northeasterly wind begins to blow. Monday will see clear skies as a strong northeasterly picks up strength. And that brings us to the end of our program. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow night.